Gloucestershire have been left with it all to do again to save their latest LV County Championship match with Essex in Chelmsford. The home side left with 6 wickets and possibly a few runs to get to claim their second win of the summer. Essex were already well ahead at the start of the penultimate day. Ravi Bopara began it on 98 and he needed only 3 deliveries to turn that into his second century of the season. He did it in style by hitting Jack Taylor for a 6, which added to the 9 fours he'd struck in his patient 247-ball innings. He was congratulated by his captain James Foster, who then swept Taylor out to Will Tavares to fall on 54 after adding just 3 runs to his overnight score. That left Essex on 440 for 4, which gave them a lead of 216 runs. But with the best part of 2 days still left in this game, there was plenty of time left for them to add yet more runs to that advantage. Ben Foakes was now in and would have been mindful of the fact that all of those batsmen above him had made it to at least a 50. He looked very capable of matching that. Bopara had had to work really hard for his ton, but he was now eager to make the most of his efforts. A second maximum was hit off Taylor in the opening hour of the morning. All the shots were coming out now as he moved with some urgency onto 147, taking his side beyond 500. Indeed, the total read 509 when he was finally dismissed, bowled around his legs by Tom Smith. It ended what was a wonderful knock on one which had put his side well ahead. Ryan Tenduscarter was the first Essex man to miss out on a 50 in this innings when he was LBW to Taylor on 11, just before the 300 lead had been posted. Essex were 305 runs to the good when Graham Napier swept Smith to Chris Dent in the deep, as the home side were looking for quick runs now. Napier was out for 2 in his comeback game, while Foakes fell just 2 balls later, as on 34 he holed out to Will Gidman off Jack Taylor, who was having a very good session. The spinners were enjoying themselves amongst the hitting. Smith then made it 3 wickets in 3 overs, as David Masters was another to be caught near the boundary. And from 509 for 4, Essex were dismissed for 541, when Monty Panesar went in a similar way to the rest. Will Gidman with the excellent running catch, which gave Jack Taylor the best figures of his career of 4 for 125. That was a nice moment for him after a year of problems with his action. He'd kept the lead down, but Essex still started the second innings of this match with an advantage of 317 runs. Not for the first time in the last couple of weeks, Gloucestershire were left with a huge task to save a game. Dent decided to go on the attack after lunch. He struck 5 early boundaries before Tavares was out in the 5th over for a single, Masters winning the LBW decision. He then followed that up by having Dent taken behind for 24 to leave the visitors on 30 for 2, and a 3-day finish appeared to be on the cards. But Gloucestershire are a team who like a fight, and Hamish Marshall showed that this was still a good pitch to bat on by pulling Napier for 6. Recent second innings batting performances from the Gloucesters would have shown them that all was certainly not lost yet, and Alex Gidman helped Marshall take their side through to the tea break by batting through 25 overs in adding 79 runs, Gidman going to the break with a 50 to his name. Ideally, the visitors would have liked both of these experienced players to see out the day, but after this pair took their partnership to 95, both men were out in quick succession. On 53, Gidman was undone by a rare ball that misbehaved. Certainly didn't get up as much as the batsman expected. Marshall then chased a wide one from Reece Topley and gave Foster his 8th catch of the match to date. The Kiwi left furious with himself with a score of 43. With 80 minutes still left in the day, Essex now had a chance to push on towards the win, but Will Gidman and Ian Cobain held firm through the final 22 overs. Cobain is becoming a dab hand at this kind of thing, having recently thwarted both Surrey and Glamorgan in Bristol. So the home side will need to see the back of him before too long on the final day. He actually batted throughout a day to deny Surrey a win. He'll go again on 42, while Will Gidman has 26 runs to his name, made out of Gloucestershire's 194 for 4, which leaves them 123 runs behind. Perhaps this game is not over yet after all.